had to deal with them. And we're very fortunate and privileged that he accepted our invitation. We have here, he actually does not need any further introduction. But can we say, he was the first local government executive who pushed for renewable energy when he was governor in Ilocos Norte with his wind farms na naging ecotourism pa ngayon. And not only giving friendly, environment-friendly low-cost electricity now in Ilocos province, and now headed by his eldest sister, with governor, asawa niya, anak niya, di ba? Anyway, we have here former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you. Good morning sa inyo lahat. Magandang umaga sa inyo. Happy New Year, happy greetings. And let us look forward to a good 2018. At least a better one than the previous one. Anyway, hopes to see you.
And the greetings, we would like to take off from his greetings, the happy greetings. And he is said to be a king, being a king in the making. You are with the pending electoral protest. There are no allegations that some kingmakers now pushing your win in the pending DP protest. And what exactly is happening is somewhat different from what they are telling us. Because as you said, there's nothing happening in the bed.
Well, siyempre, nakikita rin, I think it's become very, very obvious that kung sino man who are opposing me, the strategy is really to delay and delay and delay and delay. Dahil kung titignan ninyo, ganyan talaga yung pangyayari. But beyond that, I have come to be concerned because mukhang hindi na fair ang treatment sa akin sa pet. At nakikita natin there have been a disturbing series of decisions made by Justice Kadiwa that are clearly unfair and unjust. Marami talagang simula pa lang nung nagsimula yung bayaran, pinabayad kami kagad ng 36 million at ang deadline ay Good Friday. Kung alala ninyo, binigyan kami ng order ng Monday of Holy Week. Ang deadline to pay 36 million pesos was Good Friday of Holy Week. Alam naman natin, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, wala ng bangko. At saka 36 million, hindi biro yan. Kahit na sino bilyonaryo, hindi madaling mabuo yung ganong klaseng pera, which is in cash. You cannot just but we were able to comply. Yung aking kalaban, yung counter-protest niya, pinagbayad siya ng 7 million. Nung hindi nakapagbayad on time, dinifer. Nung hindi nakapagbayad pa rin, dinifer pa rin. Sa batas, sinasabi, pag hindi ka nagbayad, dismiss na yung counter-protest mo. Tapos yung mga decisions, halimbawa, yung sa humingi kami ng yung ballot images, kasi yung pagpasok ng sa BCM, lahat ng balote i-scan yan. So, humingi kami ng copy of ballot images. Naku, pinagbayad kami 7 million.
Another?
Inobjekan naman ng kabila. Sinabi nila, we should not have those ballot images. Inobjekan nila. Pero, it was granted, so we paid 7 million para sa papel, para sa toner, para sa tao, etc. Tapos, nung natapos na yung yung ginagawa na, yung pag-process nung, the camp of Lenny Robredo, who had objected to the images, now humingi ng soft copy na hindi babayaran. Basta't ibibigay na lang sa kanya yung soft copy na ibinayad ko. And unfortunately, Justice Kadiwa granted it. So, nasa kanyang copy for free, I paid 7 million, hanggang ngayon wala pa sa akin. These are the things that have been happening. Finally, the last thing that happened a few weeks ago, we were asked to produce 8,000 witnesses for our third cause of action. Dahil daw kailangan mag-present ng witness that will allege na merong impropriety sa election. That withstanding the fact that it is a point of law that ballots are the best evidence that you can have. Do not require anyone to be a witness. And di ba nag-produce kami ng 8,000 witnesses within 5 days. Kumuha kami ng listahan ng 8,000 witnesses for 5 days. Anong ginawa? Imbes na i-take up, dinifer. Dahil sabi niya, sige, kahit na may 8,000 witnesses kayo, i-defer na namin. Kasi siguro, the hope was na pag hindi namin ma-produce yung 8,000 witnesses, i-dismiss na lang. Pero nakapag-produce kami ng 8,000 witnesses, so hindi nila ma-dismiss. Pero ang ginawa, i-defer. So it will not be taken up until after the recount. So itong patuloy na ganito, parang sabi ko hindi na tama ito dahil I do not feel that we are getting justice in the tribunal thus far with this decision of Justice Kagiwa. Kaya palagay ko, siguro medyo obvious na masyado na we try obviously to give the justices. I have great respect for all the justices. Supreme Court Justice yan. Siyempre, respetado natin sila. At we always give them the benefit of the doubt. Bakit may dahilan? Kaya naman lahat ng order, kahit hindi namin enact, we do not agree with some of the decision, and we comply. Pero the same rules do not seem to apply to the other side. At kung nadidinig, papayaran, kung ano-anong mga pinagbibigyan. Mga decision, yung pag may motion galing sa kabila, walang 2, 3 araw, 5 araw, tapos na, may decision na. Ako, magdadalawang taon na, hindi pa nagsisimula yung recount. Bakit ganun? Bakit naman ganun? Hindi na yata tama ito. This is not the way electoral protest is supposed to be handled, especially at the presidential level. Now, how can you say that it is correct for again an issue as fundamental, as basic as to the conduct of national elections at the presidential level? The questions are still up in the air, hindi pa naipapaliwanag, hindi pa na-decide, at magdadalawang taon na nga, at ganyan pa rin. Kako, paano naman, ano mangyayari sa atin dito? Dahil ang tao hindi nakakasiguro kung sino ba talagang nanalo, umenta yan ba talaga nung nakaraang halalan? Ano ba talagang nangyari? Ano ba ang kailangan gawin para kung may problema, hindi na maulit? All of these questions are being left unanswered, and it cannot be very good for the stability of our political system when such questions are still left hanging in the air for years on end. So that is the situation I find myself in. Kaya palagay ko, we have to do something about it. I'm not sure what the recourse we have left, but the pattern of the decisions coming down is indicative, and I think fairly obvious that it is biased against me and biased for my oppositor.
Sir, can you just enlighten us? The PET, the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, is composed of how many members? He was just one of the members.
Yes, but he's the one having the case.
Okay, siya ang chair?
Siya ang chair. The PET, buong court yan.
Buong court?
Oo. Pero wala pa, hindi pa nag-umpisa sa DNB, hindi sila nag-DNB dito. Dahil ang proseso hindi pa nag-uumpisa eh. Right now, ang status namin, ilang buwan na, mag-aaning na buwan na, hindi pa ikukulik na raw yung ballot box. The ballot boxes have been waiting, ready to be brought to Manila for 6 months. We have organized already the revision, the revisors. They have already put the tables in the Supreme Court gym. So ready na, nakaantay na lahat, naka-ready na lahat. Eh hanggang ngayon, hindi pa namin na ibabalik. Hindi pa na ibabalik dito sa Maynila. Eh wala namang dahilan kung bakit hindi. As I said, bayad na yung 36 million, sinundan pa namin ng another 30 million, naging 66 million na lahat ang binayad namin.
Bakit naging 66?
Dahil nga, to pay the cost of the logistical cost, of bringing, of hiring revisors. And then, you'd be surprised gaano kalaki ang sinacharge ng Comelec at saka para sa papel, para sa toner, para nagdala pa kami ng Xerox, kami pa nag-provide ng Xerox machine. Lahat kami na nagdadala, pero ayaw pa rin umpisan. Ayaw pa rin umpisan. Siguro natatakot nga sila doon sa resulta ng mga ilalabas. Kapag talagang lumabas na yung tunay na bilang. That is something that people should take note of. This is a real problem na binibitin lang ng binibitin at mukhang hindi tuwid ang takbo ng mga desisyon na binibigay sa amin.
Justice Katiwa is the quality of the former president.
Yes.
And you mentioned about the course of action that you are now mulling. And that would be asking the entire court to remove him as chairman of that.
I don't know if I am not a lawyer, so I'm not that familiar with the procedures. But we have the legal team that is handling this for me. We have already come to the conclusion that what is happening is not been hindi naman pantay ang pagtrato sa magkabila.
Yes.
And so, what we decide to do next, we haven't decided yet what to do next, but we have to do something because it is this pattern of favoring the other side is very clear and it's clearly demonstrable.
And that one of the courses of action you can take is to ask the bank to assign another justice, not Katiwa anymore.
Well, that is one out. I imagine that's one option. I don't know that is what we will end up doing, but we have to decide. We have to do something soon. Number one, para maging pantay naman ang trato sa magkabilang panig. Pangalawa, para naman matapos na ito. Dahil ang proseso ng pagbilang, sandali lang yan hindi naman ganun katagal. There are close to 4,000 precincts, and the precincts are going to be counted 50 tables a day sa Supreme Court, makapagdalawang presinto sila, bawat table sa isang araw. So, mabilis lang yan.
The first province,
Kamsur.
Kamsur, that's the unit of Philippine Voto.
Yes, but we are contesting the results there because
Ano ba ang source doon?
wala, siya lang ang boto.
Zero kayo.
Kahit yung ibang Bicolano, nag-0-0 Oo. There are areas na talagang highly questionable.
The two other provinces are
The other thing, but the more significant fact about the three private provinces is that the undervotes are very, very high.
undervotes is when they may mga technical na hindi na
Votes cast that we are not counted. These are the votes cast that they are not counted.
by the machine.
That we are not counted for whatever reason. Kung minsan dahil kamali talaga, halimbawa, senador, 13 ang sine. O sa vice president, 2 ang nasi. Yung mga ganun, talagang hindi, spoiled talaga yun. Wala tayo hindi magagawa. But statistically, if you have 1% undervote, that is acceptable yan. Within acceptable tolerances.
Well, margin of
No, margin of error. Talagang, hindi siya talaga nagkakamali.
Yeah.
O kundi, namamakahan ng hindi tama. Kung nasisira, sinisira ng machine, whatever.
Yeah.
These things happen.
Yes, sir.
So, at 1%, statistically, those who have examined electronic election systems around the world, hindi lang yung atin, but those who have examined all of those in the previous elections that have used this kind of electronic system, 1% is an acceptable undervote. 5% is suspicious.
In your case,
10% is a clear indication that na kinalikot. There are cases in the vice presidential election 2016 where the undervote is 70%, the undervote is 90%, there's 30%. Pero masyado talaga matataas.
in your case,
For example, the president, yung kanyang undervote was just over 1 million. Dun sa kanyang
President Duterte.
President Duterte. Mataas na yun. In my case, with fewer votes, my undervote is 3 million.
Wow.
So, makita mo talagang
Nakaindigit naman yun, no?
ang daming nawala. Oh, yes, we have it is a figure that is easily calculable.
Can you just plug our members, how much margin, retaining margin, quote-unquote, in your blessings? 3 million na undervotes mo eh.
It took about 260,000.
Ganun ka rin margin.
Kaya,
260,000.
yung isang probinsya lang, pagka, halimbawa, na-prove namin na hindi magandang patakbo sa ARM, at yung hinihingi namin ay anal ang boto sa 3 probinsya sa ARM, pag nag-grant sa amin yun, we will have turned the result around. If what we know to be the result in other provinces are counted properly, we know also that it will already turn. But kasi we're talking how many million votes? Close to almost 30 million votes ang usapan dito. And 260,000 at one, which was all manufactured starting at 8 o'clock on election night until the next day.
Oh, the eve of election.
Yeah. Well, no. On the evening after election day. Diba yun na yung natigil yung bilang? Natilang yung bilang, mga 7:30, tinigil ang bilang. And palayo ako ng palayo. Palaki ng palaki. Ang what ko umaabot na ng 1 million. After 7:30, 8 o'clock, that bigla palit na palit hanggang by 2:30 in the morning, I was already 200,000 behind. So yung 1 million, winala nila, and then nagdagdag sila ng 200,000.
Aside from Camarines Sur, the 2 other provinces,
Are Iloilo and Negros.
why did you mention ARM?
Because we have another cause of action. Because marami kaming pruweba na hindi talaga nagkaroon ng halala ng tamang eleksyon dun sa 3 probinsya.
Sa ARM.
Sa Danao Sur, area Pasigan.
And that's another 30 million that you were able to pay na.
Hindi pa eh. Yun na nga. It was on the ground na sinasabi nila, you have to present witnesses.
Na 8,000.
So nakapag-present kami ng 8,000.
Those ARM na yun.
Pagkatapos namin mag-present, dinifer din. So, bakit po sila
Is that a supplemental petition?
No, that will be 3 causes of action.
Oh.
Yung isa, dinismiss na.
Which one?
The first cause of action questioning the constitutional question as to whether or not the COMELEC actually reflected the proper result accurately.
Okay.
And that they had followed. Dinismiss na kagad. Well, our second cause is the annulment of the
provinces.
in the 3 provinces in ARM. And then the third cause is the recount.
Okay. Ano sa 3 courses of action na yun, ang nag-progress na, yung third.
Yung recount.
Oh.
Yung recount. Dahil wala, siguro, naubusan na ng dahilan para pigilan.
And when did you file it? Let's count the timeline.
June 28, 2016.
June 20, 2016, and now it's January
2018.
18.
Oh, kaya yung kaya naman maliwanag ang plano kasi naririnig natin sa kabilang abogado, oy, Mr. Marcos should run for the Senate. Sigurado pang number 1 yan. Ganito ganyan. This one will run for the Senate, run for the Senate. I'm not running for the Senate in 2019. Magpapaliwanag ako na mabuti. I am not running for Senator in 2019. Hindi ko titigilan itong protestang ito dahil tapat ang aking paniniwala na dinaya ako ng nakaraang halalan at ipapalabas ko ang tunay na bilang ng boto nang malaman ng tao kung sino ba talaga ang pinili ng taong bayan para maging vice-presidente.
This was said here at Kapihan, Manila Bay on January 9, 2018. So take note, guys. Kasi nang pinalalabas sila, kaya pala napansin ko sa SWS survey. Noong third quarter, wala ka. Tapos yung fourth quarter, biglang pumasok ang pangalan mo.
Tama. Siguro kasama na rin yan sa strategy. Kasama na rin yan sa strategy na para untungan ako. Ang dami mong ginagastos, sayang na yung ginagawa mo. Kung sinadong ka na lang, panalo ka na lang. Well, yeah, maybe that's so. And I'm very grateful for the continuing support that I receive from our countrymen. But that is not what is at stake here. What is at stake here is not only my candidacy, not only the results of the vice presidential election, but what is also at stake here is the electoral process, kung maayos ang electoral process. And ang mga tao kailangan malaman kung ano ba talaga ang tamang resulta. Sino ba talaga ang pinili ng tao? That is a much more important issue than whether I won or did not win. But it is fundamental to our government, to our state, that these kinds of questions are clarified. Dahil kailangan naman talaga na may tiwala ang tao sa resulta nila.
I'm just thinking outside the box. What if President Duterte drops you, whether you like it or drops you at the settlement sentence lake ng Philippine?
I will have to decline.
Why would you decline it?
Because I'm determined to finish this protest.
Okay, that's a fair warning.
No, I'm not. I don't. First of all, the president has never mentioned anything like that. At saka kung ano mang sa nakikita nating listahan, I have not been included by Speaker, by the Senate President. So, but whatever it is, so hindi naman yan ang nakakapag-usapan. But even if that were the case, as I said, I am determined to finish with this electoral process. Hindi ko titigilan ito.
What if naman, if President Duterte offers your cabinet post, will that make you, but you can still continue the process, diba?
That doesn't preclude you from continuing the process. Kailangan, because the very clear na ang jurisprudence yan pwede namang ma-appoint at ituloy ang protesta. Yung hindi maaaring mangyari, yung tumakbo ka for another position, halimbawa, senador. Kung tumakbo ako for senador, ina-abandon ko na yung kiniriam na kaso.
Oh, yes. What if naman, President Duterte naman, hindi it's not a what if. Because, has he already offered you a cabinet post?
No. I think it's also important to him that the protest continue. Alam din niya na may suspicion din siya na pati siya binawasan din yung boto niya.
At ang pagbawas din. Ito naman ang problem ko. Because you are identified, closely identified, and President Duterte makes no rules about it, that he supports you. Nililate naman na yung Duterte ba, ang mga whatever you does, so whatever with the pedophile side, tainted ni Duterte.
Well, so far it's not happening because it's going the other way.
The other way, di ba?
So, you cannot say that they are favoring me in any way for whatever reason. Because clearly, they're not favoring me, they are favoring my opponent.
And di wala bang feelers from the other camp for you to sit down and...
Ano pag-usapan namin? I don't know what we will negotiate.
But you are civil with each other naman.
I don't know, we don't really see each other.
Okay.
Hindi ako na-invita doon sa mga event na yun.
Anyway, sir, what's keeping you busy other than the Fed right now?
Well, I've been going around several times. I've been invited to saan-saan, and then the latter part of last year, we were trying to try to see what we could do for Marawi.
Oh, I saw your Twitter post na you're having a budal fight with the...
Yung mga staff yun. Yung mga police.
When was that picture?
Kailan ba yun? When did I go to
Budal fight.
to Marawi? What I went there for was, kaya matagal before I went, dahil una sarado ang Malawi. Sure kayo, hindi pa makapasok yung mga iba. So, una. Pangalawa, tinitignan ko kung ano yung pangangailangan nila. So, actually, ang pagbisita ko nun, December 4. I went there in December 4. Ang pagbisita ko ron, hindi lamang para magpa-picture, kung hindi magdala ng eskwelahan.
Eskwelahan?
Oo, magtatayo kami ng tatlo na, no? Tatlo.
Nirebuild nyo, you mean?
Yung kung ano yung nasira, kaya one of the reasons I went there, tinanong ko sa kanila, gusto nyo bang ilagay doon sa kung saan yung dating eskwelahan o ililipat natin sa ibang lugar, whatever it is. And you ask the residents, you ask also the rehabilitation committee, kung ano bang plano, saan namin pwedeng ibigay itong actually, tatlong school building yun, dalawang tigalawang classroom. So, bali, 6 na classroom ang and we're bringing more.
That's public elementary school?
Yes, that's that. It will be for the
Anong pangalan?
Wala.
Wala pa. Sila.
Mamimili pa sila ng lugar kung nagulat.
That's a private one.
That's a private fund. It was in coordination with friends of ours and sa mga civic organizations, mga Rotary. So they have been really very helpful. Kasi talaga nag-uusap kami. Sabi, paano kami makatulong? Sabi ko, magandang response ng gobyerno. Yung mga relief foods, lahat maayos naman ang response at saka mukhang malaki ang budget. So, I think they will be able to do a lot.
And you are a diba? Reserve officer?
Yes, I am.
You are a colonel ba, sir?
Matagal na akong hindi holding over, but I suppose if I reinstated my status, yeah, I think
So you're not in your reserve?
not recently. Not recently.
And because of that photo, I saw that this morning, na-revive na naman at some bashers. They are bashing mga pros, the usual pros. Eh, mga bash na binash yung... Kaya nalaman ko yung tao sa Twitter yun eh.
Bakit? Ano na naman ang ginawa kong mali?
I think AFP, they were trying to get that, the feelings or the reaction of the AFP people. They were saying, but why is not a politician like you should do the Google fight with the...
Because they're my friends. Kasi kaibigan ko, yung commander ng SAF, galing sa Ilocos siya, yung yan.
Okay.
He was my hepe namin yan sa dalawang bayan. So, nung tinatanong namin, sino bang commander dyan?
Sino pala?
Siya pala, sabi ko, di punta ka na pala, bigyan mo ako ng konting report at malaman ko kung ano talaga nangyari. Kumari, dali ka kami doon sa loob, because I really want to see what's going on. Eh, mga kaibigan ko yun, I'm very close to the military and the police.
Yes, I know.
So madaling because now of my time in the military. Yun lang, that's the reason I went. And then to bring those schools. Because I remember, nanonood ako ng television, nung nagulat ako minsan, kinunan yung Marawi, sabi ko, kamukha yung Aleppo. Doon sa Syria. Talagang sila, kung makita mo talaga, ay hindi
Ruins.
there is no square foot na walang tama ng bala, walang tama ng shrapnel. At saka talaga kung nakakatakot ang itsura, alam mo, matindi yung laban doon at the time. Maliwanag that the fight was very fierce at every step of the way. Tapos, kaya nga, yun din it was also kasi pinuntahan ko yung mga subanan sa Piluna. At some point, kinikwento rin, ito yung nangyari sa amin, ganito yung naging tactics na kontra sa amin, ganito yung ginawa namin.
That was December 4.
No, that was before that.
Even before. Kaya pa rin, SW7 na December 6 to 8, lumabas ang pangalan mo sa atin,
Well, I don't know kung ano yung...
Yung fourth quarter, lumabas na
I don't know what the mechanism behind the inclusion or non-inclusion was, but it was not meant for that. I wanted to visit the soldiers. Kasi, these are...
Normally lang tayo sa cabinet post. If ever you are over the cabinet post, what post do you think you are most effective? Kasi in the past, I remember you said you want to be the labor department.
Yes, that's something that because I think, kasi at that time, nakikita ko na talagang problema, mukhang hinahanap naman yung problema. It was basically the contract, 555, na ginagawa na sikat. This government is working very hard on that. And I think that they will come with some kind of solution very soon. So that's not, that issue I think is being attended to. Yeah. Well, again,
What do you think?
I was vice governor, I was governor, at saka nung napunta ako sa legislature, because of my experience in local government ang naging area ko. That's why pati yung BBL, I was very heavily involved because that was a local government issue.
Kasi ikaw chairman ng local government, no?
Kasi akong chairman ng local government sa Senado. Although, having said that, General Anyo, now Secretary Anyo, I know him well. He is a good man. He will do a good job in DILG. Galing isap yan, galing AFP.
So, feel na yun.
Everywhere that he has been, he has done.
Ang only vacant ngayon sa cabinet, the ICT.
Oh, the ICT.
OIC. Ano siya?
I don't know. I'm just sorry for just gossiping.
Kasi may linyag ka naman. Kasi nakikita, mas maaga pa sa Twitter post sa akin. Nakita ko na kwento sa niya. You hosted a lunch with your wife and former First Lady, the Chinese Communist Party.
Yes.
And
yes, they honored me by coming to my home for lunch yesterday. The Communist Party of China sends a delegation to meet with political parties, I think, all around the world. Dito sa atin, regular yan, annual, bumibisita sila, pupunta sila sa Pilipinas, and they meet with all of the parties. And I have met before with them as a member of the Executive Committee of the Nationalista Party. Yesterday was unusual because they asked to see me in my home. So that is why we felt that this is a great honor and a privilege that they have given us.
And I was telling you a while ago that your mother, the Marcos, Mrs. Marcos and your late father, opened the Philippine-China relations.
Oh yes, at saka itong mga the delegation that came kinikwento nga nila nung 1974, nasa high school pa raw sila, napanood kami sa television. In fact, the head of the delegation was saying we had only one TV in our village, pero we were all watching the TV. And they remember my mom, nakaterno daw yung kanyang, hindi nila makalimutan yung butterfly skids eh. Yan, yung nakaterno daw. At mula nun eh, tapos kasama si Chairman Mao Zedong. So that was the recollection that we were talking about when I was in Sabah.
Actually, dapat nung last month ko si Senator. Kaya lang, may isang importanteng event to go to and that happens to be his son. Na nag-graduate pa, sir?
Natapos siya ng mag-masters. Nag-masters siya sa LSE, sa London School of Economics. At hindi namin sabi niya, sinabi niya, pumunta ka, mag-graduate ako para makita naman ninyo mag-graduate. In the UK, the graduation is not, hindi kagaya sa Amerika, kagaya rito, na talagang big event. Doon, hindi mo halos sinisikutan yung graduation mo eh. Basta connectahin mo lang yung diploma mo. I didn't go to my graduation, my other boys didn't go. Sandro said, sabi niya, you didn't go na, sabi niya, we don't go to the graduation. Sabi niya, precisely, puntahan mo naman yung amin. So, we went, and of course, para kami proud na sa pika, kami mag-asawa. Because siyempre, kahit pa paano, LSE, a master's degree from LSE, it's fair. You have to give it to the guy. You have to give it to sa akin.
Kaya nga, papasok yung tanong ko sa'yo.
Hindi biro yung ginawa.
Papasok yung tanong ko. If the father refuses to be drafted at the Senate, why not Sandro?
Sandro?
Yeah, he was more popular than you during the campaign. Diba,
I agree.
Diba siya yung nag-address pag wala ka? Siya ang nagkakaguluhan.
Wala, hindi na ako pinipicturan. Si Sandro
Oo.
pinipicturan.
Kaya plugin yung boto para kay Sandro, hindi sa'yo eh.
It's fine by me. That's no problem.
Oo. 3 million yung sa kanya.
No, siguro ang susunod tanong mo is entering politics. Well, he just left last night. He's gone back to London kasi meron siyang tinanggap siya sa as a researcher in a consultant company. So magtatrabaho siya.
So wala ba sa sinasound out sa baka I might follow your footsteps.
Kami, sinasabi namin sa kanya, hindi pa sumasagot. Every time we ask him, ano ba, baka pwede ka, baka interesado ka, baka, because you seem to be popular, mukhang may support ka naman, baka kaya ka namin panalo. Sabi na, hindi mo, pag muna, sabi na, let me gain some experience with work. He actually, what he actually told us is that I would like to work in a place where my name does not make a difference. Which was, I think, medyo nagulat kaming mag-asawa, but it was a very mature position today.
I hate to ask this question, pero you're not a spokesman of IME. If Sandro refuses, how about Governor of IME? Kasi it's third last year for what? For now, to run for
To enter politics? Well,
how about IME? Because third last term niya sa Locos Norte. And her name always comes out.
Because she really not already. Mukha namang maganda magiging resulta if she decides to run. She hasn't decided one way or the other yet. We were together, the family was together last Sunday na pag-usapan namin kung graduation 2019. And essentially, we didn't make any final decision. We were just assessing what the political situation is in Ilocos Norte, nationally, the status of my protest. Although, siyempre, as you can imagine, these are the factors that will determine kung ano yung susunod na gagawin.
Babalik na tayo sa Bangsam-based law, sir. Kasi yun ang naiwanan mo nung sa Senado. And now, it's being revived by President Duterte. Pero yung panahon mo doon, was there any intention, hindi mo sabi intention na naman, na drag the BBL because it was under before?
No. The problem that we encountered was that ayaw tanggapin ng palasyo ang kahit na anong suggestion na dapat palitan dahil unconstitutional nga. Yun ang pinaka-basis. Unconstitutional. Maraming problema, but the biggest problems where the impediments and barricades were be the unconstitutional provisions that were there. Ano na nga, may sariling COMELEC, may sariling COA, may sariling police, all of this, may sariling legislature, all of those things. So, those were the things that we were proposing. Ngunit, every time, basta inaano namin, pinopropose namin, basta sinasabi ng palasyo, hindi. At pinagsasabihan ng in fact, we were making good progress with the House. At nag-uusap na kami, tinitignan namin, ito yung mga talagang hindi pwede, ito siguro pwede pa, paltan namin natin ng konti, all of these things. So we were making progress. Hanggang tinawag ng mga congressmen sa palasyo that fateful weekend, and pinilit sila on Monday, the following Monday, to approve the palace version, which returned all of the problematic provisions to the House version. Eh, sabi ko, hindi natin pwede palampasin ito dahil it will be questioned in the Supreme Court. Ang sagot naman ng palasyo sa akin, pabayaan mo ng Supreme Court ang mag-decide. Eh ako, hindi na namin ginagawa trabaho namin if we knowingly pass a bill that we know to be unconstitutional. Eh bakit pa kami nandito? Bakit pa kami mag-senador? Bakit pa kami nag-congressman? Diba? So that was the situation. And that was the impasse that we really came to.
And now, have you seen the new version of the third?
I have seen several. I know that Congresswoman Jene filed my version in the House. I have not seen the other versions. There's some version that went back na may naiwan doon ng mga unconstitutional pa. But you know, let them because we have already done the legwork for that. I think makikita naman ng kahit sino congressman at senador. Those are the parts, the provisions that really that are problematic and need to be amended or at least removed.
The BBL is the basic of the federal shift.
Ito nga, this is a question that we were discussing. I had a quick word with the Chief Justice Puno. What happens? Ano ba, mapasa natin yung BBL in whatever form, mapasa yung BBL and then magkakaroon ng federal reserve. How does that work? With the BBL be abrogated and then we will just follow the national model, or because as in my understanding, nabuhay yung usapan ng federalism kay Presidente bago ng kampanya kasi sinasabi niya yung BBL, yung mga problema niyan sa ARM, maayos natin lahat yan kung i-federalize natin yan.
Lahat.
Kaya lahat. Sabi nga niya, huwag lang sa ARM, i-federalize na lang natin ang buong Pilipinas dahil para sa kanya mas magandang sistema yun. So now those are the structural problems that need to be attended to. But I para maliwanag ang statement ni Presidente na talagang inutulak talaga na yung BBL because he's very cognizant of the problems in Mindanao. So kabisado na talaga na ano yung mga kailangan. So I think that we will have a BBL that will pass muster, that will be acceptable in the constitutional sense. Probably this year. And with how it will work together with the federalization of government is something that we have to determine.
If you are single-minded focused on the TEP protest, how can you, as an ally of President Duterte, contribute to whatever visions for the country that you can support?
Well, I'm always ready to provide unsolicited advice. So that I am not shy in making my ideas known. And of course, it's different when you're actually in government as opposed to when you're not in government. But it's still, there's still much you can do. Mabuti naman yung mga tao naman nalalapitan pa natin, nakakausap pa natin. So, again, for example, in the case of the BBL, I think it is well known that we did a lot of work already on that. In fact, one of the questions that has been asked me is that Kapihan, we will start again the process. But encouragingly, we have a rule in Congress, both in the House and in the Senate, that imbis na ulitin ang buong proseso sa pagpasa ng isang batas, you may take note of the findings that were from the previous Congress, from the hearings in the previous Congress. So, that will, para hindi naman paulit-ulit na tapos yung paulit-ulit na hindi mapasa-pasa, 90% tapos na, tapos mag-change of term. So, so hopefully that will help in making the BBL happen sooner rather than later.
This will be my last question before I open this to the floor. But to use your own words, ulit-ulit na to, like Peter did words, but I just would like to get your reaction to this. I know you're not involved into the Marcos Wealth issue, but if your family recently got some sort of a victory of sort, when the CA Court of Appeals rejected the petition of Eta Rosales et al. Can we just get your comment on that?
I think as a point of law, that is something that has been that's very clear. The order of an American court is not an order, is not applicable in the Philippines. And ang ginagawa sa petition na yun, ginagawa collection agency ang Philippine Judiciary. Yun ang basic argument ng CA. Sabi na, hindi naman, kung ano yung order sa Amerika yun. Hindi wala naman yung order na ganyan. So why would we are not a collecting agency for them. So that has been the position. So I think that's as you can see, napunta na sa CA. So that's why on appeal kasi na-decide na yan. Matagal na na-decide yan. On appeal, it was, the decision was upheld. They will raise it to the Supreme Court. I think, again, as a point of law, it's very clear that it is not the function of Philippine court to be the collection agency of an American court.
And there was a blog post last week. It was Oliver Lozano. Through the social media, showed that he has submitted a proposed compromise, and which you shut down immediately.
I didn't shut it down. It was never. We didn't know anything about it. Si Mang Oliver, nagpadala ng sulat kay Secretary Panelo, San Panelo, at tinanggap naman niya, and so that's it. But I really, I have not actually seen the compromise because hindi naman galing sa akin. It was not in consultation with any of us. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung personality ni Mang Oliver, pero he does not represent any member of the family. He's a representative ng estate. That was done of his own, for his own position. Hindi nanggaling sa pamilya.
But actually, it was President Duterte who started it all when he, out of the blue, he just said, di ba sabi niya, one of his 10 courageous speeches?
Binanggit niya na meron, but you know, just since napag-usapan na rin natin, let me just once more make very clear what the family's position is on all of this. For the last, what is it now, more than 32 years, ang position is very simple. Hindi ito matatapos unless we settle. The best and most advantageous for all parties is to settle these cases. Our position is that we are willing to sign a quit claim. And that is a strict legal term, a quit claim. So that if there are any monies, any assets, any properties that they are saying belong to the Marcoses that are found anywhere in the world, we quit our claim. Ibig sabihin, hindi na namin biniklaim. Say nila yan. So, yun lang naman ang naging position namin. But so far, hindi pa rin tinatap. We came close to a compromise agreement in the time of Chairman Gunicundo, I remember because I was personally talking to Chairman Gunicundo of PCGG at the time. But ayaw pirmahan ni President Ramos for whatever reason. So that was the furthest that we ever got. But again, our position has never changed. We are open to settling this. We have always wanted to settle this, and to make our position clear, we no longer claim any of the properties, assets, monies that they say belong to us. Kung meron silang sinasabi na they claim na ill-gotten mo na galing sa amin, hindi naman sa amin yan.
Tsaka di ba
We have never claimed it.
may Human Rights Compensation Board na already. Sa mga Human Rights
Well, that is a different, slightly different issue. Pero of course, it's connected.
Nagbibigay na ba ng compensation na binibigay?
Yun na lang. So, yun lang, medyo, syempre, nagulat lahat dahil meron biglang communication. Well, I guess...
And the President did not repeat his di ba? When he said that.
Kasi hindi talaga galing sa akin eh.
Galing sa kanila nga.
Galing yung mga Oliver yun eh. So,
Dahil hindi ka Presidente Duterte na sa'yo open announcement sa atin eh.
well, but that's the state of play.
Anyway, the state of play that you are being played. The question that of course, may question dito pang Solbansi. Ano si Tita Sol?
Yeah, I saw her.
What about the Ilocos Norte posts of Governor, Congressman, Davao City Mayor? Which Marcos will run for the post?
Which Marcos will run for what post?
Governor, Congressman, Davao City Mayor.
Wala, yun na nga. As I was saying earlier, there are no decisions have been made. We are talking about what we will do in the 2019 election, and we have not made any decisions.
Tasol, nasa ka? Yun ang natatakpan mga kami.
Wala pa eh. Pinag-usapan namin ng mabuti last Sunday during our family lunch. Pero no decisions were made in that regard. We were just with my mom, with Amy, si Irene, wala pa, ako, and some of the kids. And we were just discussing ano ba talagang magiging sitwasyon that we anticipate in 2019, both nationally and locally in Ilocos.
Si Ma'am mo, second term na, no?
Third na.
Third and last term na rin niya.
Ayaw na yata.
Anyway, sunrise in the winds.
Will you please tell him that when we see him?
The floor is now open. Vika, do you want to start? Sige.
Actually, most of the questions were already asked by Ichu, but this is different.
Yes.
In the sense that I watched your videos last night, the ones on your Facebook. There is still a strong public undercurrent against the Marcos name. Reasons of you already know. How do you plan to overturn this sentiment? Because last time we interviewed your sister, it's technically she wants another side of the of the father. Di ba yung 100-year anniversary, the releasing of a book. On your end, how do you plan to overturn this? Mahirap eh.
I won the election last 2016. I won the election in 2010.
Oo. National yun.
I won the election in Ilocos Norte. So I don't think that applies anymore. So whereas and I don't think it has applied for a long time. I remember nung muna akong bumalik in 91, we were the issue. The political issue was Marcos. Now it's no longer that. Iba nang pinag-uusapan ngayon, and we have moved on to other things, more immediate problems that we are facing.
In the first time I got to sit down with Aileen, she was about more than 10 years ago. She was talking about a 2020 book.
Yes.
Vision 2020. Whatever happened to that group?
Actually, in all of this time, we have been collating kasi yung mga cabinet minister ng father ko, yung iba, matanda na, yung iba, wala na. So, sabi na, we have been trying to interview them and talk to them and sit down and talk about the policy ng panahon ni Marcos, kung ano yung ginawa niya, yung mga cabinet secretary, bakit nyo ginawa ito? Ano ba yung plano ninyo? Ano yung iniisip ninyo? And we have put together that material in the National Library, in the Marcos Library, in the National Library. Meron yan, Marcos on the military, Marcos on Mindanao, Marcos on agriculture, Marcos on the economy. All of these things, on energy, na-interview pa namin yung mga... And so we are, just to put on the record what really happened. We have been suffering through these very strong attempts at revisionism. Sinasabi hindi nangyari. Nangyari talaga eh. Kahit anong gawin. The biggest proof is, there it is. The thing is, he built the thing. He built this thing. He did that. So, why did he do that? More importantly, why? Ano ba talagang thinking behind all of these things? What was the vision for the Philippines?
Yung sa Mindanao, ano yung vision?
Basta yun na nga, the vision was to find peace, to have, first of all, to stop the fighting. And that's why we went to Libya. That's why we had the Tripoli Agreement. And that's why the autonomous regions were established. And we had peace. We had peace already. Until pinabalik lahat, binuwang lahat ng agreement ngayon. And we are back again to square one. Kaya we have been wrestling with the problem of arm, and that's why PBL was a proposal that we are up to now working on.
Question, Ina?
Sir, follow-up lang dun sa issue on the Marcos well. Are you in any talks with the government? Or
I am not, no.
For a compromise?
I am not.
But you are open to a compromise agreement?
Once again, from 1986, we have been pushing for a settlement. In fact, we have been pushing harder than the government than at that time. So, hindi nagbago yan. We have always been of the mind that the simplest way to finish all of these issues, these cases, is by settlement. And again, that has not, for whatever reason, subsequent consecutive governments have not been amenable to a settlement with us.
Thank you, sir. Santos from Philippine.
Sir, what will make you change your position on 2019 before 2019 when you are being pressured to join this slate of administration? Order from today.
I don't see any
Order of the what?
I don't see any reason why I would change. Why will I run for senator? I won already as vice president.
Pakiulit mo na ganda. Pakiulit mo sila.
Sabi ko, bakit ako tatakong para senador? Inanalo na ako vice-presidente. Ngayon, ang trabaho ko lang ngayon, yung maproklama na para lumabas yung tamang resulta.
If ever proclaimed vice president, what would you do and what would you undo?
Well, I have what will I undo?
Yun na, nagawa na ng predecessor mo. So wala akong plano yan.
Wala na mo nagawa sa mga
Ang lupit malu! Pet malu!
What I don't let us say, what is your opinion on ganito?
Lodi!
How can I make an opinion? There's nothing to
What would you do na lang?
No, please speak
Positive, alam mo positive talker.
anything the president will tell me to do. I have paulit-ulit ko nung kampanya, tinatanong sa akin, once elected vice president, what will you do? The first thing I will do is go and see the president and magre-report ako. Nasabi, anong kailangan mo sa akin gusto mo gawin ko? What do you want me to do? Paano kita matulungan? And that's the first thing. Because I have been in government for a long time. I think I have gained experience in just about all aspects of government. Siguro judiciary lang. Dahil hindi ako abogado. But even, but in any
Your wife is?
Precisely, my wife is, but I am not. So I have not worked in the judiciary. Although I worked in the legislature, I worked in the executive. So I think I can offer something. I can contribute to any aspect of that, of governance, of the administration. So I would be willing to help in any way that I can. Now, how do I think I could best help? There's certain areas that I believe need particular help and that need all the efforts that we can bring to bear. Pero depending nga talaga kung anong pangangailangan natin.
Sa paano na, yung panahon nung dilaw, iba kayo, sir. Ngayon tapos na yung era na yan. Once given a chance na presidential election, would you run or demote ayos sa position?
Ito nga, hindi ko matapos-tapos yung protesta ko. Kaya ito na unang iniintindi ko. Talagang hindi ko, the truth of the matter is, hindi ko talaga iniisip yun. Dahil it is important to me, it is very, very important to me that this issue, this fundamental issue of our government, in our government, of the electoral process must be resolved. Parang tayong mabubunutan ng tinik, kung pag na-resolve na ito. Hanggang sa ngayon, hindi nakakatiyak ang tao kung ano ba talaga ang naging resulta. And that is a very volatile position for a government to be in, for the administration to be in.
Okay. Questions from the floor? Okay na? Wala na kayong tanong? Saan? Hindi, staff ni Bongbong yan.
Next team.
Sir, may nag-advise po nung taon isang abogado. Sabi niya na huwag na raw ituloy at nini-discourage na yung kampo para hindi na ituloy yung protesta at wala naman daw mapupuntahan. So, yung sinasabi niya, mas mabuti na po.
Hindi, kung talagang tapatakan yung paniwala mo lang pupuntahan, di okay, mananalo siya. Bakit niya ako pina-atras?
Sinasabi,
Hindi ko lang maintindihan, ba't sila takot sa akin? Hindi naman ako, mabait naman ako, ba't sila natatakot sa akin?
so yung sinasabi niya, sir, mas mabuti na raw daw, tumakbo kayo sinagawang muli para hindi raw kayo nawala sa lahat at aling posisyon. Mas mataas ang solicited advice. Mas mataas para ang posisyon ang yung mga.
Kaya nga, uulitin ko, bakit ako tatakbo ng senador, nanalo na ako ng vice-presidente? Ngayon, ang kailangan mo lang gawin ay palabasin ang resulta na tama, na totoo, na talagang boto ng tao. Yung tunay na tingnan.
So,
Pero di ba medyo hindi nyo kaya ako napupuna ko. Huwag ka na magprotesta, doon ka na, magsenador ka na.
Binububa ka.
Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya?
sa kalasan, dismayado ba kayo sa Korte Suprema kaya tumali ka ng
Well, di na nabidismaya ako sa mga desisyon na natatanggap namin ni Justice Kadiwa dahil halatang-halata naman na pumapanig talaga siya dun sa kabila, sa kalaban namin.
Good morning. My name is Keith Dunn in the U.S. Press. The Philippine government owns and controls about 50% of the land. Would Congress and the President consider subdividing all the land and actually giving it to the people to create new small businesses back in the provinces?
What under a kind of land reform program?
Correct.
Well, the land reform program was essentially when it was essentially conceived for corn and rice lands. That was finished almost 40 years ago. that land reform, what we call the comprehensive land reform now is again has been seen to be ineffective, both in concept and in implementation. So I do not see the motivation for another kind of urban land reform. We had an urban land reform when it came to housing. That was around Metro Manila. But again, that was 40 years ago. And that's where you got the police programs, the medium rise buildings that we see around. But since then, I do not know that it will necessarily be to the advantage of SMEs. I think that's what you were talking about, small and medium-term enterprises, medium-sized enterprises. So I don't know that.
There's a website called solutionhousing.org.
With housing, if we're talking specific on housing.
Well, it's mostly new communities back in the provinces.
Well, that's different.
Manila.
You mentioned, because you mentioned small businesses.
Correct.
I thought it was for small. For housing, definitely. I think that especially in the urban areas, we're no longer talking about NCR, but we're talking about even
Yes, the whole area.
Alpao, CBO, all of these very, very fast-growing cities, and housing has become a problem. I do not know what the number is now. I was also chairman in the committee on housing. So I have some. When I left the Senate, the shortfall in houses was already 5.5 million units.
Nationwide.
We started off at 3.5. In 2010, we ended up with 5.5 kasi walang ginawa. We never built any housing. We never really had a housing program in that time, 2010, 2016. I think, now that we're talking about housing, I think the urban land reform is a definite solution.
Yes.
And in fact, it is a necessary solution. I don't think we'll be able to do it unless we do it.
Yes.
So that we have to continue that program. The reason being that I think the lessons that we have learned over so many years is that what we have to build not just houses, not the physical structure of houses, but we really have to build communities. And it is, I think, look at the experience of the right of way along the railroad tracks.
Correct. Yes.
They built houses.
Right.
But there was no, they were very small, they were not very, and they were given a one-time lump sum payment. But there was no transport, there was little communication, there were no markets, there were no schools. And in a Roman Catholic country like the Philippines, there were no churches, or at least places to worship. There was no consideration for the commuting time, or are there jobs nearby, or what the jobs that these people are holding, can they get to them within an hour? Because that's generally the time, the acceptable commuting time is 1 hour one way. So these are the things that and that is why, if you remember, in my father's time, it was not Ministry of Housing, it was a Ministry of Human Settlements. And the reason that it was because what they were putting up were communities, were settlements, and all of these elements have to come together. And you simply cannot do that unless you do what you are saying, the urban land reform.
Correct.
That is one of the innovations actually of that program.
I think it's being revived.
I hope so.
Department of
I hope so, because it is becoming, and it is reaching epidemic proportions. 5.5 million. That's 5.5. That's 5.5 times 5. That's 25 million people who are living as squatters or informally, etc.
And by the way,
And that's you're talking that's a quarter of our population.
the Vice President's usual role is as head of the HUDCC, Housing and Urban Development.
Well, Sangaxi,
Which then he gave up there.
yes, she gave it up, which is sayang lost opportunity, because But the government has to, in hand with that, not only the structural changes like the idea of urban land reform, but also the budgeting. You have to spend a lot of money to build these communities. Hindi talaga mangyayari if you don't do that.
If there are no more questions from the floor, because I have a question. How would you explain? I can explain about the Marcos and mga loyalists. But how would you loyalty sa iyo through the years? Diba? Kasi natatanda na. How would you explain the millennials who are so, the Marcoses are so popular?
I don't know. Because I suppose it's hard to say, but they seem. I think because we always try to provide leadership, we always try to provide a vision for the country, and I think the message is getting through. We do this not because of our political ambitions or personal ambitions, but because this is in our view, the best way to serve the country. And I hope that is coming through because that is the actual sentiment from us. And we try to be sensible. We have experience in government, and that's why we are able to give solutions or alternatives that are practical, that will actually work on the ground.
On the other side of the argument, they say that your popularity with millennials has something to do with the social media that you, Marcoses, are so active with and funding WHD.
Natatawa ako pag sinasabi niya yung army of trolls.
Yes, yes.
Kasi pag kami nag-meeting kami ng mga media yung communications group, tawag namin, kasama na din yung SOCMED, every time this comes up, that the army of trolls. Ilan ba yung army of trolls natin sa opisina? Siguro mga tatlo. So that I think whoever is accusing me of hiring an army of trolls is projecting dahil maliwanag that it is the other side who have an army of trolls na walang ginagawa. Pati ba naman yung anak ko, inaatake dahil pangit daw siya. Yun na lang ang criticism, sabi ko, pangit mo. Really? That's your best thing? Kung gano'n ang magiging sagot mo, wala talagang mangyayari sa'yo. Because social media has certainly become an important factor in our everyday life. Never mind political. Everyday life, in every part of our life, in education, in commerce, in politics, in judicial, everything. Kasama na ang social media dyan. And of course, it is incumbent upon those of us in public life to disseminate our ideas, to disseminate our opinions. And social media is for me, the great leveler. Because the one thing that social media can do, that trad media cannot, is interact. And that is the critical element that is new, bago. That's why older politicians still cannot manage it. I'm still learning. And other people have not really gotten the idea. We're not sure. If you talk to the netizens, the practitioner, social media practitioners, they'll say, kami lang, we can win for you the election. Just the social media. Pag kinausap mo naman yung mga old school, social media has no effect. It has to be the traditional. Of course, the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think it is a moving point. Because palagay ko more and more. It was maybe mali nung the first election of Obama. Everybody was saying Obama used social media perfectly. And that was when pumutok social media is a factor na in elections. At that time, we were talking single-digit percentages as an effect. Palagay ko, since then, pataas na ng pataas. What the actual number is, I haven't yet gotten a quantitative analysis on saying social media counts for X% of the votes. I think it will have to do with it will be connected to things like connectivity, to the demographics, because the younger people are more active on social media. All of those things have their
And income.
But and so of course, if there's another aspect, and traditional media has not been very kind to us either, and so we have no it is important that we use every available channel to talk to people, and social media has become a very important channel that way. Again, because of the interaction we can have. Well, pag may sinulat ka, pag may sinabi ka, sasagutin ka na. Wala pa 1 minute, sinasagot ka na eh. Either tama yung sinabi mo o you're wrong. Hindi ka tama, mali yung iniisip mo.
Wala, unahan mo pa akin ng umaga sa pag-tweet eh. Pagka-downs ko eh.
Ganun talaga eh. Hindi ka pa tapos mag-tweet. Na-send mo yung first part, sinagot ka na. Ganun naman talaga eh. That's the world we live in, and it's up to the rest of us.
Internet highway, mabilis eh. For the benefit of the late coming Shelloy, he wants me to ask you, what's the status of your move to decrypt the votes? Kasi kasi kanina
yung decryption.
Why has that started?
Hindi ko maintindihan eh. We were told, we said, sabi namin, i-decrypt natin ang, kasi yun na nga, yung bawat boto may image. So sinabi namin, we would like copies of that image. It is our right to have those copies. So sige, magbayad kayo.
Ay, nauna pa nga yung...
Magbayad kayo. So 7 million, magkano? Yun na nga, bibili ng toner, bibili ng papel, bibili ng stapler, bibili ng Xerox machine, etc. etc. So, ginawa na namin lahat. So, dinidecrypt na. Kinokopya. Ngayon, kailangan pa namin kunin sa PD. But, the other side, humingi ng soft copy, binigay na lahat. Walang bayad. So, that's what we're having to deal with. Yes, so that's the status. May motion kami to release the data, the images to us. Because we already did everything, we paid for everything, we were given, it was the court already allowed us to have copies. Pero sa ngayon, we are still waiting. Siguro naman hindi tignan natin. But then I'm a little anxious because the pattern has not been in our favor.
A last question. There has not been any, not one, electoral protest since we had automated the first election na case, electoral protest na prosper sa community.
No. I think it's slightly different. There has been no electoral protest that was continued. Nagprotesta, nag-file ng protest, nagbayad ng filing fee, that's it. Yung protesta, Senator William tumakbo ng senador after running for president. Okay. Then, si Lauren, against the bayan, hindi niya pinusi.
Pero manual pa yung dalawa.
Yung
Kimarohas. Yun ang automated.
Nagbayad lang siya ng filing fee. Hindi siya umabot dito eh. Pero even in those cases,
Siya nga lumano eh sa iyo.
kita mo. But even in those cases, the preliminary, for example, the preliminary conference in those cases were within 3 months. It took me a year and a half bago ng preliminary conference. Kaya talagang...
A year and a half?
Yes!
And
January 28, ang naging, June 28, ang naging preliminary hearing natin was January... 1 year. It took us 1 year.
So yung timeline ni Marcos ang pumpagso.
The rules say 3 months eh.
Oh.
Kaya talagang I feel aggrieved. I have to admit, ang pakiramdam ko masyado na akong magkabyado dito sa nagiging decision.
Yung kay Jojo Binay tsaka
Walang nangyari. Nagbayad siya nagbayad ng filing fee. That's it. Hindi na niya tinuloy. Hindi umabot sa recovery ng boxes, hindi umabot sa pagbilang, sa recount, hindi umabot dun sa pag-hire ng revisor. None of that ever happened. Kaya this is the only case this is the only national electoral protest na umabot sa ganitong
The
stage.
last time we talked with Makalinta, sabi niya ang ngayon January magta-transport na. Ang estimated time niya first 6 months of this year, tapos na ang Camarines.
Magandang estimate yun. Kami sana mas maaga pa. Dahil hindi ito komplikado. You get the votes, you get the ballot boxes, you bring it to the Supreme Court, the PET hires revisors, we hire our own
Magpo-convoy pa nga daw kayo lahat.
magpo-monitor. Siyempre, para bantayan natin ang gusto. And bubuksan yung balota, bibilangin. Ganun lang kasimple yan eh. Hindi ko nga maintindihan ba't hanggang ngayon hindi pa matapos pa.
Anyway,
Question.
Ate, may tapos dito. Oh, sige.
No, just a clarification of what you said earlier. You mentioned that the other party asked for a soft copy and it was given, yet you haven't received your copy yet? So, are you suspicious that things could get edited? What safeguards are being placed so that it won't be contaminated? And their copy will balance with your copy.
We cannot do anything. I mean, this it's not in our possession. It's not in our custody. There's nothing we can do. We depend on Comelec to do this properly. But the advantage is any alteration, any attempted manipulation, interference with the data will show. Now, ideally, we don't want them to interfere because we want the real story to come out. But even if they do, makikita naman na may nagkagulo. Ang problema nun, hindi natin makukuha ang tamang sagot, ang tamang bilang. But it will just prove, I guess, that ginalaw ang resulta.
Yeah, but that will like keep on extending.
Because ang trabaho ito ng Comelec eh. Kung Comelec mismo, kita naman natin ang mga nangyari since the last election, kung ang Comelec mismo ang kasabwat, wala na tayo magagawa natin. That's why we are depending on the tribunal. Again, we are running into these problems of bias against us. So, these are the challenges that we face.
Okay. Okay. If no more questions, I would like to ask our guest his last words for this morning.
Well, I would just like to thank you all for your continuing interest in this ongoing, long-running
Comelec.
I wish it was just a novela, pero ito,
novela.
buhay ng bansa itong pinag-uusapan natin.
Yeah.
And that is why that is why it's that important.
Very sad.
I thank all of those who are for their continuing support at nandyan talaga lagi. Not only those who have come out to the streets and or come to me and express their support, but those I know who are working behind the scenes. Ako'y nagpapasalamat sa inyo lahat. At sana asahan ninyo, you may count on this that hindi ko titigilan itong protesta ito dahil hindi ko maaaring tigilan na palabasin ang tunay ninyong boto, ang tunay ninyong pinili sa nakakatahanan. Kaya it started off really, nagsimula ito, ako lang, dahil sa akin, sa palagay ko, dinaya ako. Pero habang tumatagal ang panahon, sabi ko, isang taon at kalahati ay masyado nang matagal na binibitin ang taong bayan sa tunay na resulta. Kaya huwag po kayong magsawa dito sa ating ginagawa. Sana nandiyan kayo mula sa simula hanggang sa pagtatapos. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Thank you all very much.